Bill Gates may be a computer billionaire, but he and his divorcing wife Melinda French Gates are also two of the country's largest private farmland owners. Some environmentalists and farmers have criticized recent publications showing the size of Gates' land ownership, claiming that there appears to be a conflict between his public environmental support and his personal investing plan. Others have argued that the billionaire's farmland purchases are part of his larger climate efforts. Bill Gates has stated that there is no link in either direction. However, the new information about the purchases, and the debate surrounding them, serve as a stark reminder that billionaires can stash their vast fortunes in a variety of unexpected places, and that there is frequently a conflict between their personal investments and their more widely publicized philanthropic work. According to NBC News, the Gates have purchased more than 269,000 acres of farmland in the United States in the last 10 years. Farmland in nearly 20 states has been purchased with the help of the Washington-based firm, Cascade Investment, and a variety of shell firms, including carrots, soybeans, and potatoes, some of which wind up in McDonald's French fries. These revelations come after the Land Report, an agribusiness publication, claimed in January that the tech billionaire and his wife were the country's top private farmland owners. According to NBC News, Gates owns the most acreage in the United States. Almost 300,000 acres is a lot of land for one family or private individual to own, but it's still just a small part of the estimated 911 million acres of farmland in the US. While Gates appears to be one of the largest private farmland owners in the country, he's far from alone in wanting to incorporate farmland into his investment strategy. Other huge financial organizations have also attempted to purchase agricultural land, according to the reports, even if they have no participation in day-to-day farming operations. According to Land Report, which named Gates the top private farm owner, numerous other families control well over 100,000 acres. According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, around 30% of U.S. farmland is rented out by landlords who aren't involved in farming, such as Gates. As a result, it's not unexpected that Bill Gates, one of the world's wealthiest people, makes investments to benefit his personal financial interests. It's a good investment, said a reporter for the Center, Rural Affairs. It's smart, it's stable, and especially over the past couple decades, it seems to be going up. Nonetheless, Gates' land holdings have gotten a lot of attention, since the billionaire has tried to establish a reputation for himself as a climate activist. Gates is presently marketing a book on the issue, and has established himself and the Gates Foundation as thought leaders on how agriculture should evolve in the future, particularly in terms of technology. One Georgia farmer and environmental advocate told NBC that while he expected that Gates would encourage more sustainable practices after buying farmland nearby, his acquisition of that land didn't change much. And the National Farmers Union has suggested that the growing number of non-farmer owners like Gates buying up farmland and renting it out could lead to practices that hurt the environment. Short-term farmers who rent land are less likely to take long-term conservation steps, the organization argues, and non-farmer owners don't have the experience to understand the importance of protecting natural resources. Others have proposed the reverse hypothesis, that Gates' enormous farming investment is linked to his other climate initiatives. For example, Newsweek recently speculated that his property ownership may be linked to his investments in climate change, agricultural innovations, and biotech, though it didn't provide much evidence to back up that claim. While Bill Gates has previously tried to separate his Gates Foundation work on the climate from his private investments, Cascade Investment has defended its record on sustainability. In response to the criticism, a Cascade Investment spokeswoman stated that the company had enrolled all of its acreage in a program run by Leading Harvest, a charity that publishes sustainability criteria focused on biodiversity, conservation, and soil. The spokeswoman told Recode, Cascade wants to continue to review and adopt new measures that will improve the overall sustainability of its farming portfolio. Gates and other wealthy farmland purchasers have been criticized for contributing to land ownership concentration in general. Because they can frequently make higher offers than what local farmers can afford, fewer people end up owning their own holdings. As University of New Mexico professor Nick Estes wrote for The Guardian in April, this leads in a greater desire for monocultures and more intensive industrial farming techniques to yield better returns, whereas indigenous people and small farmers are more conservative with the use of land. The issues at play go beyond what pieces of land Bill Gates has bought. People tend to look either for the salvation story, he's doing this to save the planet, or they look for the opposite, it's just another greedy landowner. Shirk, an agriculture professor at the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign, told Recode. Shirk, who is on the board of Leading Harvest, says the Gates-owned farms are taking a positive step by following Leading Harvest standards. Gates has made a point of separating his climate activism from his investments. When asked about his land fortune at a Reddit AMA in March, the billionaire appeared to try to divorce his climate activism from his personal assets. "This is what my investing group decided to undertake. It has nothing to do with the weather. Agriculture is vital," he wrote in the post, before going on to say something more generic about deforestation and biofuels. But whatever Gates might wish, many observers can't quite separate the two things. For them, Bill Gates the environmentalist is also Bill Gates the commercial farmland owner, and they think the two roles are connected even if Gates doesn't consider them to be. Hopefully, the farmland purchase made by Bill Gates yields great results for him and the farmers. With this, Business Wisdom, signing out.